We good to go? Right, so Offload podcast number 3. We've got UFC's Mike Grundy, a fellow Wiganer as well, Mike. Really appreciate you coming on, mate. First of all, I know you've trained today, so I just want to take you back from where it all started with you, really. Obviously, being a lad from Wigan, stereotypically, it's either football or rugby as a kid growing. I know that was what it was like with my case, but you chose to go down the path of wrestling originally. So do you want to just talk us through what went on there?
Yeah, so I mean, some of my friends come to school one day and they said they're going to try wrestling because I only lived across the road from the wrestling club in Aspel,
yeah.
So with Roy Wood. So I asked my dad, I said, can I go down to wrestling? You know, I was only small, me as a kid. And he said, yeah, it'd be good for you. You know, he took me down and said he wanted to take me down anyway because it helped me build up my confidence and things like that because I was quite a shy kid. But I went down, I tried it, and the coach, you know, he said, you're a natural, you know, you was really good at it. I stuck at it. All my mates went on, like you said, went on to rugby and things like that, you know. So, but I stuck at it and I loved it.
And without sounding disrespectful to the sport of wrestling or anything like that, from a young age, money-wise as a profession, I don't know what it is. You probably tell me more in depth, but I don't think it is as much as a rugby or a football background. And I think what made you choose you wanted to go for this as a career?
I mean, wrestling, not popular at all in this country. There's not many people who do wrestling. Yeah. And especially if you want to get any money, you won't want to wrestle. You know what I mean? There's no money in wrestling at all. Reason I mean, like I said, I started, I was quite a natural at it. I was good at wrestling, good at getting out of things. And when I realised, I got to about age of 12, 13, I realised that wrestling wasn't popular at all in our country. And I kind of had the mindset that I want to be that person to make it bigger and make it better. And I'm still on that path now. I'm still on that goal now. Like being in the UFC, I want kids to look at me and say, I want to go and try wrestling because Mike's a wrestler and he's in the UFC, you know. Yep. So that was really my mindset, and that's what kind of drove me, and it's drove me all the way through to now. So like I said, that was my mindset. That's what drove me to carry it on and want to be like that person that just makes wrestling big in this country. And there's still a chance of me doing that with the UFC. I think it's definitely helped. Look, I've got my own club, you know, and I've got about 60, 70 kids on the mat wrestling. So it's not unpopular now. You know, it's definitely getting popular with the rugby, you know. Yeah,
we do quite a lot with you, don't we, as well? So
you lads, you wrestle, you know, so that helps our sport. You know, there's MMA fighters talking about wrestling a lot more now, so that helps our sport as well.
And what would you say your biggest achievement in wrestling was? It you got a bronze at the Commonwealth Games, didn't you? Would you say that was your best achievement, or would it be the transition from your wrestling your wrestling lifestyle, transforming that into your mixed martial arts?
I think Commonwealth Games, obviously credentials been best. Yeah. You know, I enjoyed that moment. I went to 2010 Commonwealth Games and I didn't get a medal. You know, I lost in that one and I got 5th, and then I come back for the 2014 Glasgow Commonwealth Games. Felt like I had unfinished business really, so it was quite a rewarding moment really to go and get a bronze there. I mean, that's what I always wanted to do from a young age. I wanted to go to Commonwealth Games and get a medal. So that was definitely. But the transition to MMA, that was very rewarding, but very tough as well. I mean, coming from being a top wrestler, wrestling all over the world, and going to the Commonwealth Games, getting medals and stuff like that, and then to starting at the very bottom of mixed martial arts in an amateur career, that was hard to take at first.
And would you say? I've watched quite a few videos and stuff like that. And would you say that the best kind of base of becoming a mixed martial artist comes from the wrestling background? And obviously you have your jiu-jitsu or your Muay Thai, whatever it is. But do you think the core skills your wrestling gave you set you up to be, the all-around, great MMA fighter?
I think the wrestling helps a lot. I mean, look at the UFC now. I mean, there's a lot. Most of them have come from a good wrestling background. You know, Cormier. Yeah. Cejudo, obviously a couple of weight world champion and stuff like that. So they've all come from a wrestling background. But I think what a lot of people don't realise is the wrestling does just bring athleticism and like a double leg, a single leg, and a sprawl type thing. It's not just the athletic attributes that they've got. I think it's the discipline and the work ethic that they get from wrestling. Yep. I mean, you've wrestled yourself; it's tough.
Yeah, it's horrible.
You know what I mean? It's like it's non-stop. There's nowhere to hide. No. You can't have a rest anywhere. It's you against another man who's trying to take you down and trying to put you on your back. It's not a nice feeling sometimes. So I think it's that discipline, that work ethic that you get from wrestling. Yeah.
And obviously you train at Cowbourne Gym now in Liverpool. Have you always trained there from when you did that transition to MMA?
Yeah, from day one. I mean, the reason I went to Liverpool was before I even started mixed martial arts, or even thought about mixed martial arts, I didn't really think about it. I was always set on the fact that I want to go to the Olympics in 2012.
Yep.
That was my goal. I got took on the World Class Programme to go to 2012 Olympics. But Terry Ettim, a fighter from Team Carbon in Liverpool, which was one of the original lads from UK being in the UFC.
Yep.
And he was coming up against a wrestler, and he come down to Manchester, where we trained full time for wrestling. So he come down there to train with us, and then he asked me to come up to Liverpool to do some extra wrestling with him, just to help him along with his fight for the UFC that he had against the wrestler. And that's really when I fell in love with MMA as well. You know, just going up there and doing bits and bats.
Yep. And you say, well, before all this stuff, it's kind of twice a day journey for you to Liverpool, twice a day, which is some commitment, obviously. With rugby, you know, we train most days, but, you know, it's not twice a day, and we're kind of in for 8 o'clock, done around 2 o'clock. So would you say with your wrestling background, you talk about, you know, being in a routine, and do you think that definitely transformed it into being an MMA fighter, or you just kind of flowed into it easily? Yeah,
I definitely think it helps mentally, you know, like I said, going to, I mean, I know it's the best gym in the world in my eyes, you know, that's why I travel. I probably pass 5 to 10 gyms on my way there, you know what I mean? But I know that's the best gym to go to. It's got the best training partner, it's got the best coach, and, you know, they've made me who I am today, so that's why I travel so much and get to there. But yeah, the wrestling has definitely helped mentally to put on that grind. Really, it's a grind day in, day out. When you're in camp, it's sometimes 3 times a day. You know, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we're in at 9 o'clock doing pads, and straight after we're wrestling. So it's like about a 2.5 hour session with the pads. Yeah. You know, then night time we've got to go again. And then Tuesday, Thursday are sparring days.
I don't know how you do it. Honestly, we wrestle with you, and we'll do probably one day a week, 2 days. But, you know, I know from a personal point of view, every time we wrestle with you, the day after I'm in bits. You know, your shoulders and your back's cut up. But I don't think I'd like to do it as a career. So
it makes muscles ache. You didn't even know you had. You know what I mean? It's like your neck's in bits in the morning. I know, until you get used to it. But you still just gotta get up and grind, really.
So obviously, you know, you had a great career in wrestling, and you decided to make that change over to mixed martial arts. And how many years was you pro, would you say, before you got to, which was the UFC, which in probably my eyes is the pinnacle of MMA, isn't it? So how long did it take you, and was it a lot longer than you expected or quicker than you expected?
I'd say it was longer than I expected, but I'd also say it was the right time that I got signed. I mean, it took... I did my amateur debut in 2011. Yep. So I did 3 years at that. Yep. I went to the Commonwealth Games. I kind of didn't take a break from MMA. I carried on doing MMA, mixed martial arts, and carried on fighting and stuff. But I felt I had unfinished business with the Commonwealth Games. And I come back in 2014 and won the national championships in wrestling and went to the Commonwealth Games. Straight after that, that's when I went professional. So my first professional fight was 2014. So it's took me, it was 2020 now, 6 years to get to the UFC. So it was 6 years.
Pretty long, innit, when you look at it like that?
It's long, really, yeah, because with my amateur career and my professional, it's 9 years. Yeah. And, you know, there's not much money coming in at all. In them, you don't get paid much at a professional domestic level. Yeah. You don't get paid that much until you get obviously UFC level. Really, you get a bit better money to live off. So yeah, it was tough, but it was, like I said again before, it was just tough starting from the bottom again.
Again, I've got to take my hat off to you. I know from watching videos and stuff about when you turn professional, there's not a lot of money in it straight away. And like you said, you're going training 2-3 days a week, and you're coaching your kids as well with that. So probably people who don't know you don't see all the hard work you put in. No. Up until the stage they see, oh look, Mike's in the UFC now, but you know, it's took you a lot of time to, you know, get where you are. So again, mate, fully hats off to you. I think it's incredible, and you're repping Wigan, and I know a lot of lads in our team love watching you compete. So yeah, it's good for me as a young lad, and like you said, other young kids watching you thinking, oh, that's Mike Grundy from Wigan. You know, he's just a lad from Wigan who's a wrestler, and now he's in the UFC and, you know, making headlines. So I definitely speak on behalf of the lads from Wigan. A lot of lads look up to you, so I think that's great, mate.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Like I said, they're all good lads down there at Wigan, aren't they? I mean, coaching them. I look at you lot. You say you look at me. I look at you lot, and I see how you lot train as well. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah, right. A lot of people say, "Oh, how do you play rugby?" And you're tackling blokes who are 6 foot. But yeah, I'm the complete opposite. I'm like, how are you a mixed martial artist? It's. But I just think you both have. Well, we have respect for each other. I think the jobs we do are, they take a lot out on you physically and mentally. But I don't fancy getting in the cage. Definitely not.
It is a different mindset, I suppose. Like say, just getting in the cage and knowing that other man really wants to hurt you.
Yeah.
You just got to have that. You just got to kind of switch it. Because I'm the nicest person going. Outside of the cage, I'm nice. I'm kind. I'm genuine, and I'll treat everyone with respect. And if there was any kind of problems on the street, I'd walk away and look soft before I even fought with that guy. But when I get in the cage, my mindset just changes. I go really relaxed before I walk out, and I kind of if he's going to hurt me, he's going to take something away from my family. End of the day, and I'm going to take his head off really, and that's the way I think. This
is something I wanted to speak to you about. So obviously UFC debut, me and Pal was there in London, and I like you said, you was relaxed. I think I was more nervous for you. We all had a bet on it, and so it just made it a bit better. But you talk us through, like you said, it's took you so many years to get to this point where you're in the UFC and you're debuting. You're in London and you've got all your mates and your fans watching you. So talk us through what that day would have been like building up to the fight.
So the day of the fight, the week of the fight, I was just excited all week. Probably the best part of obviously apart from getting the win and getting my hand raised, the best part was when I stood on the scales at the weigh-in. One, obviously the weight cut's always tough.
Yeah.
But it's just that atmosphere. It gets you well up for the fight. There was thousands of fans there, even at weigh-in.
Yeah.
All my family and friends were there screaming. They was happy for me because obviously they've watched me go through this journey. This journey was so tough. But yeah, then fight day, I was quite fortunate enough to get the cameras on me all day, which actually relaxed me. A lot of people don't like the cameras on them all day, but it took my mind off the fight. I just got on with what I needed to do with the cameras, and they followed my debut and stuff like that. It's out there somewhere on BT Sports, the video of the debut.
Do you think because you've competed from basically being a kid, do you think that helps you? When you're on the big stage now and you're fighting. I know when I first made my debut for Wigan, I was shitting myself. I couldn't sleep the night before. Like I was pacing up and down the house all day. But I know now, like nothing really bothers me or phases me. I think it's just more with confidence with playing. I just think, I know I can handle these lads now. But are you similar to me in that aspect?
Yeah, I think it's the experience built up of years. Because I've had some times really during my wrestling career where I've not been too confident and walked on the mat and been overly nervous, and it's affected my performance.
Yeah.
I've done that. So that's experience because I just don't know to not let it happen again, So I think it's this experience, that kind of carries over from my wrestling.
So I'm going to talk about your debut now. Obviously, I've watched you for a few years now, and obviously we spoke about the wrestling background. And to be fair, I've only ever seen you maul people, just get on top of them and just pound them and I got told you did a bit of a hamstring tear, was it, on the build up to that fight?
Yeah.
Which I don't know if many people know, but I got a bit of inside info on that. Yeah. So obviously I was expecting you to just take him to the ground and kind of give him a beating, but something I've not seen from you is your stand up game, and you had him rocked a few times when we was bouncing up and down that stadium. But did that hamstring affect your wrestling? Is that why you?
Yeah, it definitely affected me wrestling. So kind of going back to obviously like you said, the debut, talking through the day, it was like I got to the warm up room, ready to warm up, and I was first on, obviously opening the show, and I started warming up with my teammate Terry Ettim, again who I started with early doors. And Terry, anyone who knows Terry, is like a million miles an hour. Do you know what I mean? Even if you're warming up, it's like a fight.
Full on, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's full on. So my coach says, shoot a leg attack, and I'd not shot a leg attack for 3-4 weeks since I'd done my hamstring. I'd just boxed on my feet, and that was it.
Yeah.
To get my weight down or skip anything that wasn't affecting my hamstring, I had to do, So I didn't wrestle for weeks before that fight. And my coach says, just shoot a leg attack. Not to test it, it's just because I had to warm up, you know what I mean? I had to get ready for fight. So I shot one, and I thought, that's a bit dodgy, that. It felt dodgy. And back, obviously, my debut of UFC, where I've always wanted to be, opening the show. And he says, go on, shoot another. He could tell, I could tell he could tell. But I didn't say anything, and he didn't say anything. So I shot on my opposite side, where it didn't affect my hamstring, my bad side, where I don't usually attack on. So obviously I knew he could tell. And I just said to myself, I'm just going to have to go out there and box and look for the knockout. which is my B plan really. You know, my A game's wrestling. And
it's some fucking, I can't even imagine what you'd have been feeling like.
Oh, it was crazy because like I say, I was just stood there, was behind the curtains, my music comes on, and I'm just thinking, someone's going to have to go and knock this guy out, you know, I'm going to have to go and finish the fight.
Was you having doubt in your head? Was you thinking about your hamstring, or was you just like fully focused on getting another, you know, style done?
There was never really no doubt.
Sorry.
But I did a lot of, I boxed quite well leading up to that fight in sparring and stuff. So one thing, you know, I will never have going into a fight any kind of doubt. You know what I mean? I'm very confident in myself and my own abilities. And I feel that I'm a kind of person that whether I'm winning or whether I'm losing the fight, I'll always find a way to win in other ways. Yep. So I always have that confidence in the back of my mind. So that's kind of how I thought. You know, like I said, the music come on, I went out and I was on, you know, I was ready. And I felt relaxed, really relaxed. And, you know, the performance kind of just took care of itself.
What did it feel like to, you know, get your hand raised? You know, I seen the video UFC put on. It kind of gives me goosebumps. So I can't imagine what it'd have been like for you to, you know, for like you said, we spoke about the build up to get to where you was, and then you had a slight injury in your hamstring, but then you know you get a win in spectacular fashion. How did it feel? Oh,
it was like it was equivalent to the Commonwealth Games, you know, if not better really. Yeah. Because the journey just been so hard to get there, so it was just much more rewarding, I'd say. But yeah, to get my hand raised, I mean, it went so quick. I mean, I'd finished the fight, I was buzzing, I was running around, screaming at myself and whatever. And then I turned around and Dan Hardy's there ready to interview me. So I thought I didn't have anything planned in my head to say. So I just said, yeah, I'm buzzing. And then I kind of all my mates still take mick out of me, but he said, look at the screen. How was you here?
Oh, I remember you said
I didn't look.
Yeah, I remember.
I didn't look at the screen, but I thought it was an earlier slip. That I slipped early. I threw a shot and I slipped a little bit.
Yeah,
I didn't know it was that because looking back on the video, that looks worse than I felt in the cage.
Yeah, got you.
So I said, no, I slipped, Dan. I slipped. But obviously I didn't slip. I didn't get rocked.
You could see it. No, I remember seeing that interview. He's getting a bit of stick for it off your mates on Facebook. Yeah. But fuck it, what a day. We had a class day out, didn't we, that day? That was our first time going to a UFC event. It's like a completely different atmosphere to a boxing. Yeah. And I love going watching boxing, but I think I preferred the UFC. We had a big night out after that for you. So
did you go out in London?
Yeah, we had a big one. I said we had a bit of a bet. So obviously I had you and Till in a double, and because obviously this was your debut, you give me kind of the good odds. So I thought Mike's gonna fucking smash this. So you come in and Darren was obviously on a bit of a roll, and I thought there's no way Till's getting beat, and then you won your first fight, so it put my money up, and I thought I'm not cashing this out. Till's gonna win, and then he's doing all right, and then he gets fucking knocked out, and we was gutted, weren't we? We just fucking it kind of ruined the night a bit, but
yeah, it was tough for the team, you know. I didn't get a chance to go out that night because obviously I cornered Till as well. Yeah, I went out for my fight, and then I stayed back and I cornered Till, and I think we only got back to the hotel at 1. And they were shouting last orders then, so there's no way I could get a drink. No.
You couldn't really celebrate it.
I didn't celebrate really, no.
Didn't you go on your honeymoon or something? Was it?
I was supposed to. I've still not gone on it yet.
Still not gone on it. No, I seen it on Facebook.
Well, I said to my missus, I said we'll go on after this fight.
This one you got coming up.
Not Abu Dhabi, when I was supposed to fight in March in London.
Oh yeah.
So obviously then it got cancelled. So then no one's going anywhere in lockdown. No. So I've still not been on a honeymoon yet.
You got locked down for an excuse, so you're all right for a while. Yeah,
I'm doing well. That might be a caravan holiday, to be honest.
Wales is. I think you can go travel to Wales. I think now they've opened it up. Yeah. I want to talk about weight cutting to you. Something that I've watched quite a bit. You know, how brutal is it? And have you got any stories, like personally, what if you've been close to not making it, or you always? Because I always think you look really big for your weight class. I think you always come in and you look a lot bigger. So, you know, does it affect you when you cut weight, or?
I have had some bad experiences cutting weight. Cutting weights, it's not nice. It's dangerous, and you know it's the toughest part of fight game, I'd say. But you just got to embrace it and get on with it, really. But I mean, one time, probably my worst time really cutting weight was, I think it was my third professional fight. Luckily enough, I finished the lad in the first 2 minutes, but it was my third professional fight, and I made weight, stood on the scales. And I went and sat down. My dad always kind of comes with me there when I'm cutting weight and stuff. And I just couldn't. I felt like my body was shutting down inside because I'd not drunk You like when you're cutting weight, I don't know if you know, like to the last couple of days of it, but basically, obviously you get yourself as lean as you can.
Yeah.
So like me, because I've worked with at university and stuff, I'm about 6% body fat.
Right.
And then I've still got another probably 5 kilograms to go, 6 kilograms to go. So that's mainly just water. So you don't drink for 24 hours.
Yep.
And then you don't eat for 24 hours. And even the few days before, you're only having like very, very small portions and no carbs at all for almost a week. So your body's already struggling. And then you've got to go and get either in well, I don't do saunas, but you've got to try and train it off with the sweatsuit. So it's hot, like it's really hot with the sweatsuits on. So you've got to try and
How come you don't do saunas? Is it just a personal
Just from
thing?
experience in the past when I was wrestling, I did try saunas.
Just didn't work for you.
And it just drained me for the day after.
Got you.
So it's not really a natural thing of doing it. You know what I mean? If I can train it off with the sweatsuits on, then I'll do it that way because it's more of a natural. It's what I've always done. It's how I've always trained. I've never just gone sat in a sauna to try and lose some water, you know. So I'll try and do it training. And it's working for me now. I've got it bang on down to a T. It's still not easy, but I've got it down to a T now.
Got a good system in place where you're confident in making it every time.
Yeah.
So when you do make that weight, obviously, I can't believe it even happens, but you've obviously got to fight the day after. What will you do after? So as soon as you make weight, are you eating as much as you can, or have you got to like space it out in between? Well, first,
you don't think about food at all.
Really?
No, it's water.
Right.
Like I say, I was saying about experiences. I've been in that state of mind where I've not been able to sleep because I've closed my eyes and I've been seeing water. It's just like you're hallucinating about water. That's how bad it is.
That is mad, isn't it? You got to fight the day. That's what boggles me. Like you go through all this pain and then, you got to fucking fight someone the day after. I know
it is a crazy thing. Obviously, in an ideal world, everyone will just fight their own weight, but it's tough because if I went up a weight, there's some big lads at that weight. You know what I mean? And this is the weight for me, but yeah, it's a struggle all the way through for weight cutting.
I've never really read much into it. I just kind of thought you was all kind of on similar weight and you'd lose a few pounds. But I watched Darren Till's the little documentary.
The video,
and I thought this can't be fucking real. This was he in a watt bike in the sauna, or did he just come stumbling out?
No, I just come stumbling out.
Stumbling out. I was like,
yeah, I've done a lot of Till's weight cuts through the UFC with him. Like not with him, but I've always been there helping him out. Really, I've always helped him out with his weight cuts. He's a big lad, and especially when imagine him welterweight now. He's a middleweight now, isn't he? And he's still losing weight.
I don't know he ever did that.
Oh, he's a big lad.
Could you ever see yourself moving up, or do you think you couldn't go down a weight? Could you?
No, some people because they think I make the weight easy.
Yeah.
Because the way I am when I'm cutting weight, like I say, I've got a positive mindset, and I'll make it. I think my body language is everything really. If I'm just sloping round and walking round the hotel, or I'm not bothering wanting to do my weight cut, then it looks bad. And in my mind, I think it's going to be bad. It's going to be hard. So if you just try and enjoy and put a smile on your face and get on with it, it's body language in it, and it's just going to change your mindset for losing that weight cut.
Like I said, it just baffles me how you have to go through this and then fight the day after. Another thing I want to speak to you about is obviously your son. I've seen him fucking training with you. I hope no one kicks off of him at school because they're in trouble.
Yeah, he's a handful him.
What are you hoping he follows your footsteps and gets to the UFC, or are you just keep disciplining him?
I'm disciplining him. I've coached him obviously since he was 4-year-old. You know what I mean? He started wrestling at 4, Jack, and he switched to he's always done wrestling, but he started doing mixed martial arts and doing jiu-jitsu and Thai boxing and things like that. 10-year-old, so he's got a lot of experience under his belt. But I've always kept him on the straight and narrow. I think when I was younger, I wasn't the most confident kid. So what I've tried to bring up is being a confident kid, and he is very confident. He's training now through lockdown. He's training with me every day. He's training with the lads in Liverpool. He's training with pro fighters now. He's coming on quick. He's he's going to be something special. It's not. I don't want him to just follow my footsteps.
Create his own.
I want him to create his own.
Yep.
And I mean, like I said, because he's confident, he's always said he's going to do better than me. And you know what I mean, I don't mind
confident.
I don't mind that coming from my son. But
I've been seeing a few clips of him, and he looks like a beast already.
Yeah.
But I hope no one stands on his toes in school.
He's quiet. He's grounded. You know what I mean? He won't do anything like that. But we've actually got a wrestling match when he turns 18. So, because what we did when he was 9, we made an agreement. We shook on it. We made a bet. We said, when you turn 18, we'll have a wrestling match, a proper one.
A proper one.
There'll be no fighting, obviously.
Yeah.
Or punching, you know what I mean? But we're gonna have a wrestling match, and there's a bet on it.
We're
selling tickets for that.
Yeah, I'll be getting down for that one. So about obviously you're on this fight island. I just wanted to get your thoughts on it and how you think it's going to play out, and just basically what you think about it. On
my fight or on the island in general?
On the actual process of the fight island and how you think it's been set up.
Well, I think what Dana's done's class.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He's keeping us all in work. I think his thinking behind it as well is great, because he's going to convert a lot of new fans. You know what I mean? There's not going to be any live sport really
on
in the world. There's no boxing. You know what I mean? So all them boxing fans are going to want to watch some type of fighting. So they're going to watch UFC maybe. So it might convert some fans over. Yep. People who want to put a bet on, they're going to want to bet on live sport. So they're going to want to bet on UFC. So it's going to convert fans. I think what Dana's done is great. But I mean, as far as the health and safety side of things as well for the island, they're doing everything bang on, because we've got our agenda type thing. What we got? Our what we need to do before we get there.
Right, got you.
Our routine. So we're gonna get tested. I think 48 hours before we fly, and then we've got to quarantine, then fly. Then when we get to the international airport in Abu Dhabi, we've got to get tested again, and then I think we've got to quarantine for another 24 hours in a hotel near the airport. Then we've got to get to the island, get tested again on the island,
and cut weight as well.
Yeah, I know. And then with all this quarantine, we're gonna have to be training, I think, in the hotel rooms, and then we've got to get tested before we fight and after we fight. So we've got about 5 tests in a week.
Like you said though, I'm just buzzing to watch some sport really, and I definitely agree with you with maybe getting a few new fans. That's why I wish we was playing it with rugby, because you said there's nothing on. So I think our sport's the same, as we've not got as much fans as what everyone would like. So I hope they sort something for us as well.
People will watch it and bet on it as well. It's something to look forward to.
Your opponent's been named now. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Is it Evloev? Is it
Evloev?
Yeah. So obviously your opponent gets announced. I know with rugby, if we play Warrington, we'll do a lot of video analysis on how certain players play or what shapes they've got. Are you similar in the fight game? Do you study your opponent now you know who it is, or do you leave that to your coach?
My coach will watch the fight.
Yeah.
I'll have a watch as well. I like having a watch. I don't mind. But my coach watches. He don't really make any game plans up as such, because the way he says about game plans, he kind of says, well, if you've got a game plan and then something just goes off track during that fight, then are you going to think? Are you going to change? So he kind of just implements things in training that's going to relate to our fight.
Right, got you.
So he doesn't say this is your game plan. You have to stick to this. Yeah. Because what if it goes off track? It's going to play with your mind. So he just kind of implements things in training, what we could possibly do in the fight, and how we're going to win the fight and things like that. And
the guy you're facing, he's got a wrestling background, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's a Greco wrestler.
Right.
So there's a difference to Greco.
What is the difference with freestyle and Greco?
Greco is just upper body.
Right.
So it's like throws and stuff. You can't touch the legs at all.
Right, got you.
It's all upper body, like clinching and stuff like that. So there is a lot of benefits to that in MMA.
Yeah.
But I think the more well-rounded person is the freestyle wrestler, which I do freestyle wrestling, so I can attack the legs and stuff like that. So I'm used to all that.
I think you're both 12 wins. Am I right in saying that? He's got 12. Both 12. So it's a pretty, can't get any more for
quite a well match.
Yeah. I think he's had one more fight than you in the UFC. He's had a couple, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's had 2. But we were supposed to fight in China, me and him.
Oh, really?
Last year, but I got a rib injury, so I couldn't fight. So I've already seen his footage and stuff like that before. I've already prepared for him, because I got injured 2 weeks out from that fight.
Got you.
Which was last year, mid-year. I can't remember when it was. But
where do you think this puts you if you get another win? What are your plans? Do you want to try and get on another show at the end of the year, or what goals have you got? Yeah,
I want to be as active as I can, really, but I want to be active in the right direction. I don't want to be just taking fights for the sake of it. I want to be going up the ranks, the featherweight ranks. Featherweight's stacked in the UFC.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of household names. You're always you fight one of these big names, it's just going to blow up your name, yourself, your career, really. So that's the good thing about UFC. Your life can change overnight. So I just want to be climbing them ranks. That's my goal for the rest of this year is climb them ranks.
If you could have a dream matchup, who would it be and why?
So I've been asked this a few times. Yeah. I think he's retired now, but I've always wanted to fight Chad Mendes.
Right, okay.
Because just the similar styles, he's explosive, he's wrestling, he mixes his striking well with his. I think there'll be some good scrambles in that fight between me and him.
Is he retired now? Yeah.
He said something about retiring. I don't think he's fully retired yet. I don't know, but
has he fought since McGregor, or was that his last fight?
Yeah, I think he fought Volkanovski.
Oh, he's the Aussie guy, isn't he?
Yeah, they had a good scrap.
I think he should fight Volkanovski.
That'd be good. He's the champ. Yeah. Obviously, definitely I want to fight him.
He's got a bit of a rugby background. I read some stuff on him.
He has, yeah.
Yeah.
He was much heavier, I think, obviously, when he was playing rugby.
Yeah, he looked like a bit of a chunky thing. I seen a tackle he did, what he got banned for, and I think that finished his rugby off.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
I didn't know
obviously, Jackson, who plays with us, I think he's from the similar area to him, so he started speaking about him. And then obviously he's blown up this year. He's obviously got the title now.
Yeah, he's a champ now. I think he's unbeaten at UFC. Well, he fights actually soon on the next.
Fighting. Is he got Holloway again?
Yeah, then a second one. That's the second time that.
So yeah, that'd be class to see you two go at it.
I'd love that. Yeah.
We've got a couple of questions just through social media, and we're just going to read a few out here. So if there's any three people you'd like to sit down and have a meal with, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Tyson, one. Yeah. I know we spoke about him before, but Tyson, because he's a legend.
He'd be on mine, I think.
I don't have many people who I really look up to, if you know what I mean.
Is he your main one, Mike Tyson? Is someone you look up to?
Tyson's my main one. Obviously he's done a lot of bad stuff, but as far as a fighter goes, he is a fighter, you know what I mean? He's ferocious and he's unreal, but that's who I'd like to probably have a conversation with.
Yeah. Would you like to see him come back and fight? I know he's talking about.
I don't know.
He's getting a bit on now, but I don't know. I've seen him on them.
He looks good on the pads, though. I mean,
yeah.
Maybe someone like as an exhibition match, someone his age.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't they talk about him in Holyfield or something again?
Oh, really?
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, that'd be.
Maybe he'll take his other ear. I mean, I don't know. But
or his nose.
Yeah.
We got one from a teammate of yours, Tom. He said, when are you going to get the transplant done? So I think he's talking about your area, Mike. I can't.
Because I've talked about going to.
Getting a Turkey special.
Transplant, yeah.
There's loads of lads in our team gotten it done. I know Zach Hardacre.
Is that it done?
Yeah, well, he's had little bits put in, but I think he's going to wait till the end of the season.
Did he go to Turkey, though?
No, you know what? He went somewhere in Manchester.
Really?
Yeah. I know a few lads who've been.
Where's that? Tell him drop me number.
Yeah, well, we'll see if we can sort a deal out.
Yeah.
We've kind of already touched on this, but someone's put, you clearly passed on your talent to your son. Do you think he'll become a UFC champion?
Yeah. I do think he'll be. I can confidently say that. I think he'll be UFC champion.
What weight? And obviously can't tell he's still growing, but have you got an idea what weight class he would be?
I mean, we talk about it, yeah, of course. I reckon he's going to be like a welterweight.
Really?
He's already now at 15, 17
tall,
kilograms.
isn't he? Like?
Yeah, he's taller than me. Well, I always say he's taller than me with his hair.
Yeah.
But if he cut his hair, he'd be the same size. But yeah, he's about 69 kilogram now, 70 kilograms. So he's only 15.
What is a welterweight? What is
77 kilogram. Well, obviously he'll cut down to that. I reckon he's going to be naturally late 80s.
80s, yeah.
Yeah.
So what did you say? Darren Till obviously fights welterweight.
He did.
Obviously he did.
He's gone to middle now, hasn't he? But
what does he walk around at? He's fucking big, isn't he? He's a big lad.
I've seen him when he was at welter. Seen him at big. See him late 90s, 100 even.
Fucking
fast.
I don't. That's not possible.
But he's, to be honest, for this fight, he's good now.
Right.
He's good, yeah. He's doing his weight cut well.
He looks a bit more trimmer. I've seen on Instagram.
Yeah.
So yeah, look, I hope he smashes this next opponent.
It's a good fight.
Yeah.
But, if he wins him, obviously he was the last title holder, wasn't he? And he lost to Adesanya. Good chance Darren could fight for the belt then.
That would be a good fight, wouldn't it, Adesanya? And
yeah, it's an exciting fight, isn't it?
And you've got obviously another teammate who's on the card with you, Tom, who's give you a bit of shit here about your hair. But what can we expect from Tom?
Tom's lightning fast for a heavyweight. Tom's going to do really well.
He messaged me. He wanted to go at rugby. He said after this fight,
did he
want to come down and I didn't realise how big he was. I know he's 6'6" and 120.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's a heavyweight, isn't he? But for a heavyweight, he's proper,
fast.
really fast boxing. Obviously, he's trained with like Tyson Fury and that.
Those camps, didn't he, with Tyson? Yeah, I've seen that.
Tyson's camps for a while. He did a lot of Huey's camps, Huey Fury. So his boxing's on point. He's a black belt on the ground in jiu-jitsu. So if you take him down, if he's boxing your head off, he's going to probably sub you. So he's a bad combination for anyone, really.
We spoke about it before, but to say 3 lads from the same gym all on the same card, I doubt you'll see that anywhere really.
You don't really see it much at all. I've not really heard of it, to be honest, but it's definitely special for Team Carbon, and a credit to my coach, really, Colin Aaron, as to where he's got to, and and getting us all on the same card. It is massive.
How big has Colin been for you in your career? I know I've seen a lot of people speak, very highly of him. What's he been like for you?
Yeah, massive for me. He's a special coach. I've only ever been there with him from day one, really, for mixed martial arts.
Yep.
I'm a loyal person, but he's also a loyal guy, and he's done a lot for me and got me. He's put his neck out really to get me to where I am today. So my hat comes off to him as well.
Will you all fly out together? Or will you have to get individual flights out, or can you all travel together? What's the crack?
No, we'll all go at the same time as a team. Yeah, we've been training together. We're going to get tested together and stuff like that. So we'll end up going at the same time, I think. Lastly,
I want to get your thoughts on something. I don't know if you've seen the UFC last week with the lad saying, "Call it." Have you seen it? Have you got it here, Pa?
Oh, have you got it?
Obviously, I know you do quite a bit of work in the corners as well. So talk us through the situation. What you think you would have done?
So me, I would never have ever said, "Call it."
Yeah.
That's not me.
You'd rather go out on your...
I would have got if no matter how tired I was or how mentally unstable I feel I would have rather gone out and got knocked out.
Yeah.
But his coach, he's only right in what he's doing, and I know probably my coach would do that. But me and my coach would definitely not be having that conversation.
Yeah.
But if you can't give him any stick. He's a young lad. He's only had 5 fights. He's mainly. I think by the looks of his other fights, they showed some clips, I think, and he was mainly just taking people down and ruining them, really. So he's not been in them deep waters.
Yeah, got you.
And I think he's felt that. And I talked about it the other day on a different interview. Someone said, there's obviously a sense of, because obviously my opponent, Movsar, is unbeaten.
Right.
There's a sense of confidence comes from a guy who's unbeaten. Yeah. I says, and I've had that before myself, obviously, because I was unbeaten at one point and I lost. But the turning point in that fight was when I wasn't getting all my own way.
Yeah. When
I wasn't getting all my own way, then my mindset changed slightly, a bit of panic setting. So this is what's going to happen with my fight with this guy.
Yeah.
He's unbeaten. He's got that unbeaten confidence. He's going to get a bit of panicky when he can't take me down and he can't get his own way, and then that's when I'm going to pick him off.
This is something I forgot actually, but obviously you did take a loss once in your career. What did it change how you? Because obviously you said when you've been unbeaten, you're full of confidence and you don't think you can get beat. But when you did get that loss, did it change how you trained or how you fighted? You go into different fights.
Never changed how I trained. I've always trained. Always trained out all the way through. So nothing had changed with that. No matter whether I was amateur or pro, or whatever, whoever I fought, I'd always train hard. It doesn't matter because anything can happen in a fight. Do you know what I mean? But it did change my mindset slightly. I was probably the fight after that. After I'd lost, I was probably a little bit more nervous than I usually am. A little bit more pressure.
Yeah.
But once I got over that, I'm on a 9-10 fight winning streak now, and I'm back to that confidence again. But I still don't have that thing in the back of my mind where if it's not going my way, I have to start rushing to get something. And that's what happened in the fight that I lost.
It's probably a good and obviously nobody wants to lose, but it's probably a good lesson in it. Taking a loss, I think it changes how you. I know from my point of view as well. When I've done something wrong in a game or I've been beaten on 1v1 or whatever it is, it's good to know. You can get beat. Everyone's human. Yeah. But it's how you react to that situation next time.
Yeah, and then you start. Not really many people look at the mistakes when they win.
Yeah.
They look at the mistakes when they lose. So it's a good time to obviously look back and look at your mistakes as to what you did wrong. And like for me, what I did wrong in my fight was, I got caught with a body shot, a back kick. Yeah. And it dropped me. I managed to get back on top, but because I was on top, I rushed and I wanted to finish it. I could have just held that round out. I think there was only like 30, 40 seconds left in the round. I could have just held the round out, held him down, and then come back, recovered for the last round and won it because I won the first round.
Yeah.
I was winning the second round, but that kick took it out of me. So a bit more experience there on my part would have been beneficial in that sense.
Again, I just want to go back to this clip with this lad. So when I first seen this on Twitter, I think I even tweeted it. I was like, fucking hell, that's disgusting. Because I thought...
Did you get some stick?
You know what? Nobody actually fucking commented on it. But when I originally first watched it, I thought, right, if he's telling you he's done. Like, and he kept, pushing him. And I thought, as a coach, should he really been doing that? If he said it once, fair enough. But then, because he said it, I think it was 12 times in the end. So I didn't really agree with it. But then I listened to Daniel Cormier speak about it, and he obviously spoke to lads who knew this bloke, and they were kind of saying that's kind of his mentality. When it gets a bit tough, he seems to lose confidence and his head goes down. So his coach knows him more than anyone, and he was trying to tell him, you know, fucking come on, you can do this, you can do this. So when I kind of looked at it in a different aspect, I kind of agree with it now. And I think it's with me in rugby and with anyone really, you don't get as far as you do on your own. You've always got someone in your ear, you know, telling you to kick on, because half the time you probably would stop at some point. So yeah, it was good to get your view in it, because at first I was thinking his coach was, you know, made the bad call and he should get stripped of his thing. And then when I actually thought about it and I listened to the Daniel Cormier, it kind of makes sense. Yeah,
he was talking about it today in training. Mixed views really. Some of the lads are just ruthless on it, obviously.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But yeah, I think I agree. I mean, I agree with what his coach did.
Yeah,
because in the other sense, how would everyone have reacted when he turned around? He just said, "Right, okay, no problem. Call it. Let's go. You're done." Do you know what I mean? Because that would have been too quick. I mean, he did try and push him. He called him a champ, and he tried to change his mindset quickly. So I thought that was pretty good. But you know, he was done, wasn't he? And he was done. So
it was pretty weird though, because I think they did quite a lot of people, you know, tried to score the rounds, and I think most people had a round each, and then obviously going into the third even. Obviously, like you said, we don't know. Well, I definitely don't know what it's like when you took a beating in the.
Yeah, he got caught a good few times in the second round, but he won that first round, I reckon, personally. But and then, you know, it would have been a case of, it could have been, if he really put his mind to it, could have been one double leg in the third round and kept him down.
Yeah. Even
if he made it a bit boring, just hold him, you know. But and then he could have won the fight.
Do you think the UFC keep hold of him, or is it ruthless? Where, you know, I watched Dana White speak after it. He said, "Look, if you're done, you're done. You can't knock the lad for that." But what do you think his career will look like now? Do you think? I think
Dana, you know, he's a clever chap. He'll probably turn around and he'll tell him to go back on the domestic scene. And I don't know if he's cut him yet. I don't know anything about it too much, but I think he might cut him and tell him to go and get some more experience and come back when you realise kind of what you want to be, if you want to be a fighter or not, and just get some more wins and get yourself in deep. Well, not get yourself, but there's going to be fights where the people's going to be good enough to get you in deep water and you know, not kind of call the fight yourself, because you're at the pinnacle. You said before, you're at the pinnacle of the fight game. You're in the UFC. You're on TV. Your fans, your friends and families watching.
It's like we spoke about with you, with how long it took you to get there, and then, you know, a million lads would, you know, be in that position like he would, and probably not many would kind of call it on themselves, which
100%. Every fighter wants to be in that position.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And like when I was before I got signed to UFC, Darren was campaigning a little bit, and he was saying stuff like, "How can you possibly have I forgot his name, WWE star?
Fucking hell, what's he called?
I forgot his name himself.
CM Punk."
He was saying, "How can you have CM Punk in the UFC and not Mike Grundy?" You know.
Yeah.
And that kind of obviously helped my situation, but because he knows how much it meant to me to be into the UFC, and it's same people will be looking at him now and saying, you know, you sat on that stool and not come out and fought for your life, basically, because UFC can change your life overnight. And you know, there's so many people who want to be in that chair.
He's pretty young, so, you know, hopefully I don't wish he gets caught or anything. But like you said, there'll be thousands of lads who would have done anything to be in that position and like gone out, and even if they'd have got knocked out, you know, they'd have been happy with it. I know that's your mindset as well. So it was just interesting to get your thoughts on that, and see what you're thinking.
No, it's an interesting subject. I mean, he's, like I say, he's young though. He's only had 5 fights. He's only had 5 fights as well.
Right.
I mean, it's not many fights really that.
You might have never been touched up as bad as what he did in this fight either.
I don't think he will have been.
Just lastly, mate, you're coming up to your fight now. You're in camp already. I know we spoke about it before we started. Did you say this was the toughest week you reckon you've ever had?
This is the toughest week I've had for this fight, yeah, definitely.
All because of Darren Till. He's got to fight 5 rounds, is it? 5 championship rounds?
He'll have to fight 5 rounds, so we've done a good few rounds this week already. Plus I'm doing my own training now, but yeah, this week's been tough. That
must make you feel good though when you train these extra rounds and you go into a fight thinking, "Fuck, I've done 7 rounds in the gym. I know I can do 3."
You can
it's a confidence builder, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Your preparation's everything, isn't it? You know yourself. Yeah. Your preparation's your confidence.
Right, I think that's going to wrap us up. Just lastly, I really appreciate you coming on, mate, and wish you all the best for your next fight. I'll be cheering on, and having a bet on you again, I think. And no, really appreciate you coming on, mate.
No, thanks very much.
Cheers,
Thanks for having me on, mate.
Sorry.
Thanks, pal.
Are you ready to upload? All that go hands up and smile.